Last year's Game Awards felt a little different. It had the Muppets again, and Flute Guy was as awesome as ever, but the tone of these awards, it felt to me like a shift was about to happen in the industry. A quick disclaimer, I was what you would call a casual gamer for most of my life. Up until recently, I mostly played the mainstream games that were popular with everyone. The CODs, GTAs, Marvel games, they were all in my rotation. Most games that the majority of my friends were playing, I was probably playing along with them. It wasn't until much later that I started to try more and more obscure games. I feel like this is the case for many people. It is often said that games were better when we were growing up. And I think I know why it feels that way. I don't think it's because the games have gotten any worse. I think the games that are worth playing are just becoming the ones that rarely get recognition, especially from the mainstream audience. One of the contenders for Game of the Year was Hollow Knight Silksong. A little funny story, when the first Hollow Knight came out, I was in high school and I didn't actually have much faith in the game. A few of my friends recommended it, but I just kept putting it off because I didn't know if I would enjoy it. Metroidvania just wasn't a genre that my play-it-safe brain was ready for at the time. And truth be told, I only finally gave it a chance last year. And even then, I'll admit, I still haven't finished it. Sorry, I guess old habits die hard. Out of the 6 nominees for Game of the Year, 3 games were from independent studios. Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, and of course,
Clair Obscur!
Clair Obscur! Clair Obscur! Clair Obscur! Expedition 33!
Expedition 33.
Mon ami, Clair Obscur, Expédition 33!
2025 was really a year for independent studios to shine. No Naughty Dog, no EA, no Ubisoft. Just people that were passionate enough about making a game that they bound together to make their vision a reality. I'm oversimplifying, of course, but you get the picture. There is no better example for this than with the story of Sandfall Studios, the developers of Expedition 33. Ex-Ubisoft members were so passionate about what they came up with that they decided no one else could make this game but themselves. Or rather, it wouldn't have been made if they didn't make it. I wish that I could delve into the whole story, but I'd rather not make this video an extra 30 minutes long. If you really are interested in hearing it, there are plenty of very talented YouTubers that have already broken it down for you. So, why were indie games so prevalent? Was this just Jeff Keighley trying to appeal to the audience that had no shortage of complaints for games in the last couple of years? Well, actually, kinda. As gamers, we have all heard and experienced the plague of big studios sacrificing creativity for monetization. Since the reign of microtransactions, we have all seen the growing greed of this new vision of big companies to prioritize profit over quality. Year after year, we've seen great franchises oversimplify themselves for a new, more general audience, making all these games start to blend together and become less distinguished. Take the growing popularity of Battle Royale. They might be appealing to most people who only casually pick up a controller, but to longtime fans of legacy franchises like Halo and Battlefield, it feels like a ticking bomb slowly itching closer, ready to generalize the mechanics that created the unique identity that made players love these games in the first place. AAA seems like it's either went the safe route of trying to appeal to everyone, the money route to try to sell you the rewards rather than getting you to earn them, or just trying to lecture you about whatever topic that they chose this time.
So, I'm non-binary. So,
this very well explains why gamers have grown tired of the big names. The unoriginality of the next installments of big franchises just end up feeling empty and putting off many players. So, what's the alternative? Well, great creative games never stopped being made. They just were being made more and more by different people. Video games used to be made by people with vision. Thinking back to where the greats started, The Last of Us, Halo, Black Ops 1 and 2, they were all made because the creators had something in mind, something that they thought was cool. They didn't used to worry about appealing to audiences, they just went for stuff. They were ballsy. It is such a shame to watch the series like Black Ops be milked to death just because the original was so beloved. Newsflash, It was beloved for a reason, not because it had
The cat cafe.
the soullessness of AAA left a void in the industry. Those that weren't interested in the same old were left wanting more and longing for something different. Luckily, that void was filled by the most unlikely of people. Going independent isn't a small feat. It takes courage, guts, and a strong drive. And that is exactly what indie developers have plenty of. The main thing that sets indie devs apart from the big boys is mainly a lack of resources. They just don't have access to the things like investors that AAA does. But they make up for it with sheer willpower. The indomitable human spirit is real, and boy does it shine. I won't pretend to know what goes into making a video game, but I do know that it's close to impossible. Yet, countless of dedicated people are making new games right out of their garages, or basements, or Starbucks, I guess, simply because of what that idea in their head means to them. That kind of dedication is their secret weapon. They actually want to make these games. No board of directors, no stock prices, just imagination and creativity. This is why games like Clair Obscur are spoken about so fondly, because the creativity is clear to see from miles away. You can tell right from the start that it has soul put into it, and that thought was put into every single animation, model, environment, voice line, and parry. The developers of Hollow Knight Silksong have admitted that it took so long for it to come out simply because they had so much fun making it. That is the kind of thing that we need. People with imagination that actually enjoy the games that they're creating. When that's absent, well, I think that's a topic for another video. To wrap up, the best kind of games are those that are made with love, patience, and most importantly, intention. My two all-time favorite games have always been The Witcher 3 and Fallout New Vegas, both of which were made with so much passion that even years afterwards, we still not only talk about them, but find new content in them that were included for the sole reason that the developers cared enough to actually think about the small details. That is what happens when passion meets capability. I, for one, am actually excited for the future of gaming after last year. It was honestly a wake-up call for big studios to bring back creativity, and an invitation for aspiring storytellers and artists that have a great concept to expand upon. The future looks bright for gamers that value unique concepts and experiences. The casual gamers will always have their most recent entry of whatever multiplayer game that they've played for years, but now, the rest of us gamers can finally look forward to a feast of creative games to come. Only time will tell if I'm right, but I have a feeling that these latest Game Awards aren't the last we'll see of independent studios showing AAA just how it's done.